Hello. Hello, hello. Hey, Floki, what's up? Are you not the slightest bit curious as to why it has this flip-flop?
Because we're probably flip-flopped.
Huh?
We're flip-flopped.
How are we flip-flopped?
Because when we were in the other room, I would sit over there
right,
and you would sit over here. I don't think I understand the assignment.
Okay, are we looking in a mirror right now?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. I'm actually sitting on the left and you're sitting on the right, but you are actually on the left of the screen and I'm on the right of the screen.
I don't think so. Hi, Mark. Voice of mind and body. Can y'all hear us? Let's do a
volume up. You gotta have the volume up.
Let's do a sound check.
Ooh, ooh. What do you got going on here? There, now I'll check it and see.
We got a sound check in the house.
How loud is the air conditioning? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I turned it to where it's not supposed to get any sound from back here. I mashed the button. Or I mashed the button that it lets it get sound from everywhere.
Ah, so it's directional. It says we're low.
Wait a minute. How are we now?
Not loud because we're still not peaking. Look up there. What up, April?
What did you do with this? You got it all cattywampus.
Okay, look, this is what we're gonna do.
What are we gonna do? Oh, denied.
Yes, but it's low. Now they're gonna be confused because there's no sound.
Well, you unplugged the microphone.
Now there's no sound. Alright, let's see what we got going on here.
We got 2 turntables and a microphone.
Why is that? Why is that saying -4 decibels?
I don't know. What did you do? Well, let's go. Can you hear me now? Better.
Yeah, but that's just because we're close.
Well, I don't understand what you did when you said
I just want to know why this is at -4 decibels. That's all.
I turned it up all the way. By the way.
There. That went away.
There we go.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
Now, I do have a question though. Now are we echoing?
Echo, echo, echo.
Because that's in this room we don't have like anything to absorb.
We don't have anything to absorb yet. I got this like whole earth, wind, and fire wing going on over here on my head. We can just hear you better when you just plugged it in.
Plugged it in. I think I mean, I'm looking at it peaking now. It's a lot different than it was, so.
What's up, Niana?
What's up?
No echo.
Awesome.
Cha-ching.
Awesome sauce.
Alright, so we have been MIA for a couple of weeks.
A while.
So, let us bring you up to speed.
Up to why?
Obviously, we're in a new building, a new room, as you can tell.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, we're in a new room.
We're in a new room. Well, it's an old room.
But it's a new room for our live stream.
Yeah, so, with that being said.
Because we did live streams out in the shed. We done live streams in our bedroom. We done live streams back in the day in the living room.
That's better.
That's the great mouse detective.
Have missed y'all. For headphones, you are more on the left side now than the right side.
That's nothing to do with us.
Okay. Even your little... I don't know. So have I, but been working. Yeah, we've been really busy. Now, one of the weeks, first of all, before we do anything, I want to thank Henry. Henry has been checking on us every Monday. And unfortunately, we've had different things pop up that, like, one week I know he asked, and I had the worst migraine, like, could not even see straight. And so there was no point in trying to do a live stream that night. But the biggest one was specifically 2 Mondays ago. 2 Mondays ago.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, so 2 Mondays ago, we had our last night with Carol before having to take her off to college. Now, we're very fortunate. Off to college is only an hour away, and it's an easy drive, really easy drive.
It's a very scenic.
It is. Scenic
drive. We got the experience was completely different than it was when Blaze left.
Yes.
At least for me. Because I had an understanding, I had experience.
Especially, yeah, with specifically what was happening. You had a lot more
of
knowledge.
What Blaze was walking into, what he was getting ready to participate in, and what he was going to be going through for the next 13 and a half weeks
yeah.
or so I thought. COVID really kind of
put a spin on things.
Shook that up.
Yeah.
So last Monday I was I want to say a complete wreck.
Well, let me look at my messages because I'll be able to tell you. I think last Monday was last Monday or 2 Mondays ago there was no way we could do anything because you were just
excuse me. We were packing a car.
Yeah.
We were getting things ready, and I had a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of. My baby girl was leaving home.
Mm-hmm.
Carol was my ride or die. Out of all 3 kids, you never want to say one is your favorite, but
see, I don't think that that's considered a favorite. I think they choose you. Like, if she had to pick which one she is more like and relates to more, it's you. So she chose you more or less than, you chose her as your favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she spent so much time with you,
yes.
It made it easy.
Yes. Her and I did spend a lot of time together. We did, nobody's talking in the chat. We did a lot of stuff together where, I tried to do some of the same stuff with Blaze. He was semi-interested, not interested. Tried to do some of the, Carol loves trapping. She would stomp around in that swamp with me all day long. I mean,
yep.
So I got that picture over here.
Hey, Cecilia. Yeah. I think so.
I think it's we found some old pictures this week while we were cleaning out a storage barn, moving things around. that needed to be moved around. Let me get these.
We're listening.
Huh. I don't remember taking that picture off.
No, it's going to be over there.
I must have taken it off. So let's look. Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Okay.
Some of y'all that have been with us for a while probably remember this picture.
This was Carol when she was real little. You know, we were out there on that trap line, and she decided where that trap was going to go, and put it in there.
Yep.
You know, I got oodles of pictures of her running her own trap line. Now, Blaze and I ran a trap line together one or two times, but he didn't get into it like Carol did. You know, so there wasn't that. Blaze and I didn't have that bond. LaDessa and I didn't have that bond. Now, LaDessa is all about hunting. LaDessa loves to hunt. And again, that's something that
Carol's not as interested in.
Right. In. Bubba could take it or leave it. And, but, you know, so Dessa and I bond over that. But for the longest time, I mean, you know.
Art.
Carol and I also bonded over yoo-hoos and moon pies.
I mean, y'all have always been, like, I always joke is that she and I look a lot alike. We even found a picture today that was kind of creepy.
Yes, this one is scary.
It's really...
I want you to check out this picture right here. And I want you to imagine Carol
with red hair.
With red hair. That is Robin.
Right after Blaze. Like, Blaze was less than a year old.
With her grandparents, and that's itty bitty Blaze.
Yeah. So I was like maybe 22-ish.
And here's a... No, none of those are...
No. But even today, like, we were up at campus with her today, and one of her friends was like, I had to do a double take because y'all look so much alike. But what I was going to say is she and I look alike, but her demeanor and the way that she handles things, like all of that, she's Jason through and through. And so they bond really well over that, so that, you know, they help each other out a lot. So, because they both navigate through stuff the same way.
Yeah, but I didn't really have the opportunity, because she took the proverbial bull by the horns with going to college. I'm so impressed by her with this, that when I tell you she took the bull by the horns, she did. She did her own research. She figured out what college she wanted to go to. She figured out what she had to do to get into said college. And the next thing we know, I mean, at least for me, you were a little bit more involved with it than I was, but for me, the next thing I know, she comes in bum rushing me and gives me a hug and tells me, Daddy, I got into Tacoma Falls. And I'm staying in the dorms.
And I got a scholarship.
Yeah, and I got a $10,000 scholarship. Academic scholarship. The highest that they give.
Mm-hmm.
And so, at that particular moment, you know, I was like, wow. I was struggling because I wanted to be so proud.
But you don't want to lose her. She can't stay here forever, Daddy. It's been really hard on Jason. Really hard. And of course, that was 2 weeks ago. We went up there and dropped her off. And we chose, and when I say we, I suggested that we not hang around all day. Unfortunately, it was on a Tuesday, and Tuesday is our Bible study group day.
Like I was trying to say before you cut me off and made me cry because you were being rude to me and hurt my feelings. That's why I was crying. I was battling between whether or not to be proud or heartbroken. You know, and so as time was drawing near, we were working with her hand in hand, and she was getting upset with me a little bit. I'm like, go ahead, pack up your room. Go ahead, get these duckies in a row. Go ahead and get this done. Go ahead and get this done.
And from her perspective, because she would come to me, it was hurting her feelings.
Yeah.
Because she felt like Jason was just pushing her out, that he didn't want her here anymore. And that's not what it was. He was trying to get her ready because he knew that it was going to be crazy. Like,
as it got closer, I knew more and more things. More and more shoes were going to drop. Mm-hmm. Crap, we need to go get this. Crap, we need to get this. Crap, we need to get that. They need this paperwork, that paperwork, this paperwork.
I mean, we were literally doing her immunizations
2 days before.
The Friday before we had to leave.
Yeah. Or
Thursday before the Tuesday. So 5 days before we had to leave.
And so, we got through all of that.
Well, let me say one thing. So Jason sent me a message at one point that really kind of sums it all up. He said, we train them up to be ready to leave and to be completely, empowered to go out and spread their wings. He said, but the part that hurts is that they were so ready. She was so ready to go. That
nobody trained us that they were going to be this daggum ready to go.
Yeah, she was so ready to go. She was chomping at the bit.
Well, she was super excited.
Yeah.
And she had every right to be, and super, super proud of herself, which she had every right to be. At first, she struggled with the entrance essay.
Uh-huh.
And I told her, just tell the truth.
Be honest.
Be honest with it. Tell the truth. And
that's what made her stand out.
It's either going to make you stand out, or it's going to
or it's going to backfire.
It's going to tank your ship.
Yeah, one or the other.
And I really thought it was, I knew in my heart that it was going to make her stand out. I didn't realize she was going to do that good of a job on the essay.
Which she still hasn't let us read, by the way, because she apparently mentioned your TBI, I guess is what she said. Is that right? Or something. Anyway, the question, I want to kind of bring it up. The question was, it's a private Christian college, and they wanted you to write your personal testimony. Well, Carol is not saved, and so she doesn't have a personal testimony. So, for like a month, we were like, well, what are you waiting on? What are you, but then Jason said, look, honey, if you, because he kept asking, he kept saying.
Sunday after church, I kept saying, what do you think you're going to do about that? What do you think you're going to do about that?
Well, because you also kept asking, what's the holdup? What else do you have left to do with your application? What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's go with my answer.
Because as much as I didn't want her to leave, I knew that was selfish. But I also did not want her to feel kneecapped or crippled.
Right.
And so I was doing my best to support.
Right.
In the best way I knew how.
Right.
And when it was a Sunday after church, and
Hey, Sid, what's up?
We went out. I got a wild hair. And
you don't even want to think about that.
That's what bullets are for. And so we went to Anderson, South Carolina. We went to this little pizza joint that I think we ended up having to deliver food from there or something one time while we were doing.
Are you talking about Fire Pizza?
Yeah, wherever we went. I think it's the one in downtown.
The Electric City Pizza, yeah.
And we, Sydney, that was a big honking watermelon, bro. Just saying. Not surprised, just saying. But we were sitting there, and I basically told her, I said, you know, with my kids, I know they're whether they're 25 in the Marine Corps, 18 off at college, 16 driving me crazy
in the
kitchen, chomping at the bit to get a driver's license. Something always happens where it comes down, and I always say it comes down to two choices. Mm-hmm. Look, you got two choices here. Either A, you cannot write this essay, or B, you can write this essay. So what are you going to write the essay about? Well, either you got A, you're going to lie.
Right.
Or B, you're going to tell the truth. I said, and the safest bet is always to tell the truth, because if they come up and ask you questions about it later. Yeah. You don't have to remember the lie.
Right.
I said, it's plain and simple. Just tell the truth.
And even more so, you're at a Christian school. Like, don't lie.
Yeah. And so.
And I think that she started off her paper that way. It was like, look, you know, here's where integrity comes in.
I wish she would let me read it, because that essay was a big portion of why she got that scholarship. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but it is what it is. She's entitled to have her privacy, especially, I mean, she asked the way that she asked for me not to push. I mean, if I'd have pushed, she'd have let me read it, but she's entitled. Not like I couldn't search the computer and find it anyway, but I'm not gonna. And so Monday we spent all day packing, because that after church, I took her to Anderson, just her and I. And we had just a father and daughter date. We went to, I think it was Applebee's. Mm-hmm. And we had lunch. And I just looked at her and I asked her if you've had the conversation about going to clubs and that kind of stuff with her, and the do's and the don'ts. And she said yes. Don't ever leave my drink. You must have had it a lot, because she was like, yes, don't ever leave my drink.
She's heard my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think everybody has one, or hopefully has one, where they caught something and it didn't happen to them. But
and so when I said, okay, I said, you need to promise me a few things. And I said, one, you're going to enjoy the college experience. I said, you're going to learn more from the stuff that you experience while you're here than you're actually going to learn from the books.
Just independent scheduling, you know, interacting with people.
There's a whole bunch of life skills that she's going to learn, that she has to learn on her own.
Right.
And there's ways to interact with people. You know, there's all kinds of things. Being independent, and just there's all kinds of things that she's going to learn, and it's going to build up a lot of self-confidence and make her a strong woman. I said, and because she's got a little boyfriend, guy she dates or talks to, whatever, I don't know what you want to call it. And I said, and I said this to him when he came and talked to me. Mm-hmm. I said, you do not let him interfere with your college experience. And I told this young man straight to his face, eyeball to eyeball. I said, if you interfere and stop her from going on a spring break, going hiking with the girls, or doing whatever, they'll never find the body. So it's just the way that it is. I really want her to have just an over the top experience at college. That's something I never got to
and I think that's experience. Part of why. Like, that's part of your motivation is, wait a minute, she has a boyfriend?
And,
yep.
And so, and then I said, and it was funny how I did this, okay? Because I tried to make something that could be uncomfortable. I tried to add a little humor with it, and I said, please.
Check your airline tickets to Georgia.
Please do not add to the population until after you're married. And then I said, but wait a minute. For you, I also have to add, please don't take away from the population without giving me a heads up so I can dig the hole.
Right.
And so that made her laugh. And we just talked about it. I said, look, if you get the opportunity to go on a spring break, I told her she's not allowed to worry about money. That I wanted her to get a job to be able to get the experience. But she's to use that money for saving up for spring break, going on some of these trips, blah, 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 do whatever.
Because she's set up pretty nice. I mean, we got a chance to see. She's set up pretty good.
And I said, please don't come home. Baby stepdad, please don't come home right away with like stuff dangling from your nose. And she's like, I'm not. She goes, I may get one of the stud right there. Yes. That would be amazing. Yes, we do. That would be hilarious. Well, Sid, you do probably have to come this way because supposedly there's a rumor going around that there's a little boy also at church that's interested in Ladessa. So
there's a couple of them.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to beat them off with a stick.
Yeah, because Ladessa's been working out. Like I noticed today where she had like an hourglass figure going on. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, see,
when did that happen?
So back around 2020, Ladessa grew more out than she did up. She kind of like slowed down a little bit growing up, and she was putting on weight, but she wasn't growing any taller. And it's been a little mixture of both. When we started working out, I didn't expect the girls to grab onto it the way that they did. I really did. Yeah, I really didn't expect them to be like,
I don't know why you didn't expect that with both of our DNA.
But I didn't expect them to be like using it as a tool. I expected them to be using it as just something to do off of the farm. And so, but it definitely made me not regret my choice to not put them in sports because they really are. They've got both of our competitive streaks. But so Ladessa started working out, and we started noticing that Ladessa started slimming down a little bit.
Ladessa is freakishly strong.
Very strong.
Like, with the leg press, I had to tell her to stop. Don't put in any more weight, because if you want to start putting on more weight, we've got to get stuff to wrap your knees. Because I'm not going to let you end up with bad
blowing
knees.
Out knees, yeah. But she's putting as many plates on as some of the
she was doing over 600 pounds.
Yeah.
She was doing over 600 pounds like it was nothing on the leg press. And that's when I seen it.
Thighs.
When I seen it, I said, okay, whoa. Let's back this off a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's start doing 15, 20 reps instead of
less weight, more reps.
And in all honesty, because of my knee, Ladessa does more on a quad squat than I do.
I almost do more on a quad squat. Just saying.
But
yeah, she's definitely shaping up, and things are kind of going in the. When we went to take Carol back today, I noticed it today when we were walking.
I was getting pissed. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, I'm going to prison. Because both of them were out in front of us. And I was just like, and every time that, we would walk and some little broccoli head would walk by and he would turn back around and look, I'd always be looking at him like, what?
Like that meme, you see the boyfriend and the girlfriend walking and he's looking back. Have you seen that one?
No.
Yeah. And the girl's looking back. The girlfriend's like looking at him, looking at somebody else.
The next time we go there, I will be packing, because I'm just going to turn around and be like, what?
That's a felony.
I don't care. I'm going to have a male judge, and he's going to be like, why'd you lift your shirt up? And be like, he was staring at both my daughter's butts. Case dismissed. Boom, get it out of here.
You better not be on my jury. I'll be on your jury.
Ain't going to be a jury trial.
But anyway, so Ladessa's definitely growing into a beautiful, beautiful young lady.
But we dropped Carol off on the very first day. We went and got a picture. She got her picture done. If you're friends with me on Facebook, then you have seen the picture.
Well, it was really cool because when we went, when we drove in, it was a big deal. Like they had students like all throughout the drive. Like it was probably a mile drive from the, like when you first go in, all the way back to the student center where we were, or the welcome center. Mm-hmm. And they had people with speakers dancing, and they had, pom-poms and, poster boards, all kinds of stuff. And they're cheering, and, you're here, and honk
if you already know you forgot something.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So it was really cool.
Going through, and so then we got this opportunity to take this picture here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that they are the Screaming Eagles. So they call themselves Screagles. Carol does not
hilarious.
Not a big fan. This is her dorm, her bedroom, what her room looks like.
It does not look like that now.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. It's not.
This is how grown up and how beautiful she is now. Y'all can see that. That's right down there below her dorm. Mm-hmm. The campus is absolutely gorgeous.
It's right by Toccoa Falls, by the actual falls, and so there's running, there's a bunch of running creeks, and just the foot of the mountains, like it's really pretty, and it's it's not huge like a state college, but it's definitely big enough. It's definitely big enough.
And so we got through the whole process of checking in, and I'm a Screaming Eagle dad or a Toccoa Falls dad. Mm-hmm. That's stickers on the car now, on the new car. We got through all of that, and they literally had the girls' soccer team. Mm-hmm. And maybe the girls' basketball team.
I don't know.
Helping all of the freshmen get their stuff up. And those girls were quick. I'll give them that.
3 floors.
3 floors. But the one girl, I don't kind of question her athletic ability because she picked up the one box that had nothing but Carol's clothes in it. She's like, "This girl pack a whole weight room or something?" I'm like,
"It's literally just clothing."
I said, "I think that's just clothes. Are they made out of lead?" I'm like, "Can you do some curls?" But went up 3, and I started to try to help Carol unpack. And that's when we realized we just had to rip the Band-Aid.
Deanna said you might want to count your traps and make sure none are missing. There's that look. She
do you know when I asked today about being able to fish that creek because we saw all the trout?
She said no. Hunting, no fishing.
Yeah, but she didn't say anything about trapping.
Well, they did get that briefing about squirrels.
I'm going to go count my coon cuffs.
Anyway, but yeah, so we dropped her off, and I thought it was best if we just ripped the Band-Aid off, because I thought because they had stuff planned all day, like stay around and eat lunch with the parents, go meet all of the department heads, and then at 4 or 5 o'clock they were going to have a ceremony, a farewell ceremony. And I was like, this is not good. And because really to begin the day off,
it would have killed me by the end of the day.
To begin the day off, Carol was ready to go. So she had the car packed the night before, so all we had to do was eat breakfast and get on the road.
Do the chores and get on.
And the thing is that it's only an hour, and they start at 9. And Carol was like, it was like 8 o'clock, and she's like, "Come on, we need to go." And I'm like, "Carol, no, we are not showing up when they first get going, because there's gonna be kinks, and they're gonna need to work them out. So we're not gonna show up right at 9 o'clock." Okay. So we rolled in there about 10:30, which was perfect, because by then it was a well-oiled machine. And so we went through all the stations, we did all of the stuff and got her mailbox key and all of that. They took her up to the room, got everything moved up there, and Dad went to start trying to help her unpack her stuff. And she looked at him and was like, "I got this."
I snuck in, an 8-pack of Yoo-Hoo?
No, 4-pack of Yoo-Hoo.
4-pack of Yoo-Hoo bottles.
And then an 8-pack of the double-decker moon pies. And then put it in a gift bag, which we skipped over. Sunday, after you took her to lunch, Ladessa and I were back at the house. We had a surprise going away party for her. Yeah. So when they got back, the only non-surprise about the whole thing, well, there was a bunch of them. Anyway, so she got...
Old people can't keep secrets.
She got a bunch of
gifts. They do it, and they do good right up to the last minute. You're at church.
Literally, we're at church.
And the old man says, I'll see you in a little bit, Carol. And then she's like, what? And then he realized he messed up and didn't cover. He ran away. He ran away.
Called me like 5 minutes later and was like, "Just tell her I was asking if you guys wanted to go to lunch." I was like, but anyway, so we had some gift bags left over from the thing. So we took one of the gift bags, put them in there, and then while we were like, "All right, Carol, go back in the house. I need you to go get this." And so she went back in. Ladessa went through the back of the house. And as soon as Carol was in the house, Ladessa went to the back, snuck it in the back of the car. And so when we were unpacking everything, she had to actually go up and get her dorm key and sign in. And so when she did that, we grabbed it, and Jason took it and hid it up in her room. And so she didn't see it right away. And we were on the road.
We were halfway home. And she sent me a picture, and it said, "Really? Yeah. Now I'm crying."
Mm-hmm.
And then the cool thing was, later that evening, she says, I got something I need to tell you. And I said, what? And she's like, well, I'm sitting there and I'm crying with the Yoo-Hoos, and I offer my roommate a Yoo-Hoo, and she's like, I love Yoo-Hoos. Her mom left and
went to the
Walmart, and they had a little college refrigerator.
They have a little refrigerator.
And her mom filled their refrigerator with Yoo-Hoos.
Like, they're on week 2 and they still have some left in their fridge.
And
now that's one thing I will say. There's a lot of things that have changed about Carol since she left here. One, she always complained about us being an ingredient family, which I'm sure all of you have probably heard that term, but she always hated the fact that we didn't have anything processed and already ready to go. And so we were at lunch today, and rather than pick up the processed stuff, she made her own concoction, her own plate, her own salad. And I was like, okay. And then the other thing that I noticed is we don't bring a lot of sweets and stuff into our snacks and stuff into our house. And so usually when we do bring stuff like that, like if we had a Tuesday night and somebody brought chips, by the next day, Carol would eat them all. Like, no self-control, she would eat all of them. So before she left, we had a lady from our church who picked her up and took her out to go shopping. And one of the things that she insisted on Carol getting was a lot of snacks to be able to have little things to carry her through. And it was funny listening to her because she has, like, where most people are budgeting budgeting money, she's budgeting out her snacks. She's like, well, I don't go into my snack stash unless, and I'm thinking, well, that is not the Carol that I knew before, because if all of that stuff was in this house, she would have eaten it all by now.
First night would have been gone.
Yeah, so it's nice to see her practicing that self-control and taking care of herself. Like, she's monitoring her own.
Well, it makes me wonder if it really was her, if it wasn't her.
Oh, no, it was her.
It was her and Ladessa.
No. Carol, if Carol finds something she really likes, like, for instance, pepperoni. I would get pepperoni to make, we have a special dish that everybody loves here. And if I would get pepperoni for that, and if there was, I used to get the big pillow pack of it so that I would have enough to make another batch of it. Well, we would use what we needed, and then I would go to reach into the pepperoni like 2 days later, and it's gone. And I'm like, where did all the pepperoni go? Well, we know where the pepperoni went. So just stuff like that. She's constantly doing stuff like that. So, but it is what it is. But now it's interesting to see her.
But we came home and pretty much tried to continue on with life. Carol and I got into a habit. We say good morning to each other and good night to each other, and we talk sporadically through the day, which really, really helped me, and it does help me get through her not being here. Plus, I get kind of excited when she texts me, because I get to learn about what she's doing and all the stuff that she's got going on. And so, because I never had that college experience, so it's kind of like I'm living through her eyes.
And I want to caveat something. Jason is not blowing up her phone. Jason waits for her, maybe the good morning, good evening, they may, whoever initiates that. But Jason gets texts from Carol throughout the day about, check out what I'm doing. Like, it's not him being like, hey, what are you doing right now? Like, it's nothing like that. She is missing him just as much as he's missing her. And so it was cute to see that, we hadn't even gotten home yet, and she was already texting you. Like,
well, that's not fair. That's because that's when she found the Yoo-Hoos.
Yeah, but then when they had the ceremony and when they got all that stuff, like, we were gone for a while because we went to Anderson. We went and got food, and then we did some grocery shopping. So, but yeah, she was. I mean, she loves her daddy. So it's really nice to see that relationship still stay intact, even though she's moving on to a new chapter. So.
And so, the week went by. We were starting to hear. I was hearing sporadic stories, and she'd share some stuff with me, some stuff with Dessa, some stuff with Mom. I think she may have shared some stuff with Blaze. I don't know.
She didn't share anything with me.
That's a load of caca.
No, for real.
Okay. And then the first weekend came, and she wanted to stay. She has stretched her wings. I'm so proud of her for this. She is in the choir and a thing called, is it Eagle Wings? Eagle Beaks?
Eagle's Wings or Eagle Wings?
It's an a cappella singing group. Now, here's the thing where we failed, Carol, homeschool parents. And if you're a homeschool parent, listen up.
Especially if your child is interested in music.
Yeah. Carol's always been kind of interested in music and singing and doing all kinds of things. We never found a class to get her to somebody.
Never looked for it.
Yeah, we never. It's the same situation like when Robin skipped a grade and she skipped over learning how to read a clock. It took her later in life to learn how to read a regular clock because she skipped over that part. Well, when we went to school, you got to learn how to read. You got the basics of reading music in like elementary school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we skipped that part. We didn't even think about that part. None of the homeschool curriculums that we were using even had that part. And that was one of the things that, we kind of just overlooked. I like to listen to music, but I don't want to play it. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. Robin, she's got a beautiful voice when she doesn't have a cold and she's singing through her nose. But
it never occurred to us to teach that.
So teach your children how to read. At least get them the basics on how to read music. Because
she has an opportunity.
4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, a gentleman, an older gentleman, they absolutely fell in love with our girls. Mm-hmm. And he found out that Carol was interested in playing the guitar. Oh. And he took her underneath her wings. He bought her like 2 guitars.
He bought her one and gave her
one of
his. Yeah. That he told her the guitar was older than Jason.
Yeah. And gave her an amplifier, a whole bunch of stuff, and started teaching her how to play. And now, by his own admittance,
he failed her too.
He failed her too because he doesn't know how to read music.
And to be completely honest, nowadays, like if you look up how to play something, it doesn't give you all of that stuff. It's literally the lyrics, and then above it, it'll have the chord. Like it's a C chord or it's an F chord, whatever. And she knows what those are, but she doesn't know how to read it on a piece of music. No. And so, it's kind of like a crochet pattern. Like, what all of these different stitches are, but until you, see it written out, you don't know how that plays. So it's the same concept. So yeah, we told him about it, and he said, yeah, that's probably my fault because I play by sound and just knowing the chords.
Well, Carol gets to college, right? We're going through right after we took that picture that we showed y'all with the mascot. Mm-hmm. There was a guy handing out flyers. Yep. Hey, do you play an instrument? Do you want to play in the band? We offer a scholarship, $1,000 scholarship. Yeah. So Carol goes, knocks the socks off of the audition, audition, and they handed her some music and said, play this, and she didn't know how to read music. So it cost her that $1,000 scholarship. But the guy said to her, go learn how to read music, come back next semester, and it's yours.
Yeah.
So she's got a friend that's teaching her how to read music in the choir and these Eagle Wings, Eagle Beaks, whatever that a cappella group is called. And so she's like, I'm going to give it a couple more weeks, but then I'm going to go back to him and see if I can go ahead and do it now. Mm-hmm. Semester be pretty much
because they also do they do like tours like during
we will not get to see her on spring break because one of the choir I thought it was the choir. Okay. Anyway, one of the singing things, they do tours, and I'm like, well, I was getting all kinds of excited. I'm like, where are you gonna get to go? Because I was gonna call on y'all. Hey, Carol's gonna be in Texas. She's gonna be right down there by Uncle Sydney.
Right.
Y'all go see her. Hey, she's gonna be in Pennsylvania.
Jason said, where are you gonna be touring?
Where are you gonna be touring? And she said, Georgia.
Georgia.
And I went, that's nice. That's somewhere you've never really been before. You think you could elaborate a little bit more on that? And she's like, just different places in Georgia. And I'm like, can a daddy get to know where?
So we can go see you.
So we can go see you.
Yeah.
And,
be fun.
And she's like, as soon as she has the dates in place.
Like, done. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah. We know it's going to be in Georgia. But that's not to say that there won't be other opportunities where they'll go, other places.
Yeah. And so we won't get to see her on spring break. Her Christmas break gets cut short her freshman year because she has the freshmen have this 2 or 3 week couple of classes they have to take. That was Carol's cat. Sid, we've always had that cat. That cat's like 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old. Yeah. Just when it was real little, it was very skittish. So I think when you would come over, it would just stay in Carol's room. Because we had him when Sid came to visit, right?
Think so.
No, he was still being made underneath the house.
Probably.
Yeah. So look at his little ass.
Huh?
Punk.
I know. Come here.
Let's see. Yeah, so we won't get to see her on spring break, but then the Christmas holiday gets cut short by 2 weeks because she has to go do that freshman thing.
It's basically after Christmas, so the second week. Shall I work on getting them invited to Mississippi?
Do it.
Yeah, she's excited to be able to go. And the other thing is she gets to go see the country or the other parts of the state. I'm sorry. Gets to see the other parts of the state and to be able to do it without being underfoot with parents.
She's become a little bit of a social. Well, long story short, made it through first weekend, made it through last week, and I asked her. I said, "Okay, Labor Day weekend, 3-day weekend. Do you have plans?" And she's like, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, let me know." I said, "It would be nice for you to come home. I would like to."
And a lot of the people went home.
Smoke some ribs or something.
Yeah.
And that's all I had to say. And she's like, "Yeah, I moved. This is so cute." She was like, "Yeah." After I told her that we were gonna barbecue ribs and put stuff out on the ground. "Yeah, Dad, I kind of moved some stuff around, so."
Yeah, because at first she told us we were going to have to pick her up Saturday morning and bring her back Saturday night.
I was getting at it. She was like, "But you guys can come pick me up Saturday morning, but I got to be back
Saturday night."
Saturday night before curfew.
Yeah.
Because that's a really cool thing about the college, too.
There's a lot.
They have a curfew. School nights, midnight, they have to be in the dorm building.
Yep.
Weekends, 1 a.m.
Yep.
Or they get fined, and those fines can be money or basically jobs service and jobs and stuff they have to do. So I really like that. But she gets to talking to Robin, and she's like, well, you know.
I asked her, like, if we could come down Friday, like, what does she have Friday evening? Could we just come pick her up Friday evening? And she was like, yeah, that'd be great. And then she's like, oh, crap, I've got grocery bingo. Because apparently they pay bingo for groceries. And
which would be so cool.
It's really cool. But she said, oh, and by the way, I'll be able to stay past Saturday.
Oh yeah, like, so I can go ahead and stay till Monday morning. But I do got to get back Monday because they do room inspections.
Yep, twice a month.
And I think it's all because of this was another funny thing. So Carol sends me a text message.
I got my first debriefing,
and,
safety briefing.
And she's like, well, I got my first safety briefing. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she goes, here's a rule at my college I bet you'll never hear. They literally said to us, you are not permitted to mess with any dead squirrels that are on the side of the roads. And I said,
wait, what?
I was like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah. Supposedly, a few years back, there was a female who would walk around campus and pick up dead squirrels, get formaldehyde or make formaldehyde, and keep them in mason jars in her room. So they had to make a rule.
No dead squirrels in jars.
And so we went up there, picked her up. All of a sudden she can stay, had the room inspection. So it brought us basically to today. We had a great weekend with her. And we got up I asked her, I said, you want to be there first thing in the morning? You want to go towards the afternoon?
What's your timing look like?
What's your timing look like? She's like, I'd like to get there as soon as I can in the morning. I said, okay.
That did happen.
Yeah. So we got up. We got to moving around, everything. We got up there about what, 10:30, 11?
11, yeah. Now, we stopped at Walmart on the way in because she needed some vinegar for her Keurig. A friend of ours gave her the Keurig to take with her. And so she wanted to clean it out real good before they started using it. So.
And so we got up there, went to the dorm. I was only allowed to go to the lobby.
Yep, no boys allowed.
And so I figured, I'm going to do what any good dad will do. And I went to the bathroom in the lobby, and I christened it by dropping a big fat deuce.
And then realized there was no exhaust fan or air pressure.
There was no air movement.
It still smelled bad when I went in there, weirdly. I
have literally kind of changed my diet around where I'm having more of a high protein diet. And so that was a protein poop.
Protein poops.
And I don't know if you've ever been around anybody that has lived on a high protein diet, but protein farts and protein poops stink.
They're really bad.
And so I realized what I've done, and so I just texted Carol and said, I'm sorry. And she's like, what did you do? And I'm like, I just blew this bathroom up. And so then we went on this tour. We walked around campus. And so that reminds me, I gotta look at that.
Alright, bye-bye.
And so we toured campus. It is really beautiful out there.
They have a frisbee golf.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: anybody in this chat box that's friends with us, loyal with us, the zombie apocalypse happens.
That's where we're going.
Meet us at Toccoa Falls Inst College. It's got creeks running through it. It's got this huge pond. Now the problem with the pond is it's a freshwater pond, And there's something about that freshwater pond that you cannot float
No, it's
in, according to Carol.
She didn't realize how cold it was, and she went right in, and her whole body locked up.
They have this thing called a
couldn't move.
pond run, where somebody screams pond run, and all the freshmen are supposed to run and jump in. And Carol, being a good sport, she ran and jumped in, and she was.
Her whole body was shut down.
She's like, I can't float. And then so she was telling the story. This weekend was full of hilarious stories.
Mm-hmm.
The upperclassmen pulled a prank that I must say probably one of the best pranks ever. And it was, because
it was funny and it didn't hurt anybody.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And it's I'm old school. I think hazing should be legal. I think
to an extent.
It builds. Hazing should be legal. It builds character.
As long as you're not killing somebody.
That's murder. That's
right.
not hazing.
Well, it starts as hazing. That's what happened at Clemson. Just saying.
No, that's not what happened at Clemson.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
That was alcohol.
No.
And stupidity.
Okay, anyway.
And so what the upperclassmen did, and again,
Kudos.
beautiful. They started a rumor that there was lead in the pipes, and
The only safe drinking water was at the cafeteria.
is at the chow hall. So they sat in their dorm rooms, and they sat out and watched freshmen carry water bottles full of water from the chow hall back to their dorms. So they had something to drink through the night while they were up there studying, doing whatever.
It's pretty funny.
Because Carol texted us and told us about it, and I was like, certainly they would have said something.
Now, let's be clear. The first reaction was, Robin, you better call them in the morning and find out what they're doing about it.
Yes, that was my reaction to you, but in my brain, I was like, certainly there would have been said something, there would have been done something, because if you would have said, oh yeah, I'd have known about it, me and you probably wouldn't be on this live stream tonight. Because I'd have been like, you let our baby girl go there without a water filter.
Right.
Why?
Well, and their list, they put together a very comprehensive list of things that you will need or things that they recommend you having. And there's no mention of a water filter, pitcher, or anything.
And so Robin did as I asked, and she called the school and found out, and they were like, no.
We have lead in one place on the entire campus, and it's in an abandoned building
storage
that we
building
use for storage. And there's nowhere that the students have access to water there. I'm like, okay.
And so I told Carol, I said, hey, look, baby girl, you're a victim of an upperclassman prank because your mom called the school. And she was like, oh my goodness, really? Mom called the school? What? That's embarrassing. And I'm like, you had two choices. Mom calling the school or you coming home? Oh, I'm so thankful Mom called the school to find out that it was a prank. Yeah. And I said, look, if you feel better, we'll get you a water filter. Or we'll get you like a little Berkey or something. And she was like, I think that would be cool. And so we started doing some research, and we found a nice little...
I mean, Brita and Pure, all of those, they all have a filtering system that filters out lead.
So we got her one this weekend. She took that back with her, just in case it wasn't...
Well, and she also said that the water doesn't taste the greatest.
She's spoiled.
So... So Niana said, how are Robin and Dessa handling her being gone?
Who is that? I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Cool JC?
Cool, JC.
I know where you live.
That's cool.
So
come on over.
It says, how are Robin and Dessa handling her being gone? Dessa cried pretty much the whole ride home. Mm-hmm. She was upset. She's still a little upset here and there. Mm-hmm. But it's getting better. And I think just like with you, like this morning before we were leaving, Jason was like, I don't know if her coming home was a good idea this weekend. And I was like, why? And he's like, because I don't want to let her go again. And I said, baby, just remember, each time it'll get a little bit easier. And it was a little bit easier this time. You know, it wasn't as hard as last time. And so, you know, I
don't know if that was spam or not. That may have been...
like maybe
Christian or Carol. If you blocked that person, April, go ahead and unblock them.
Yeah, because I'm not sure who...
I'm thinking that may be somebody that we know being cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Christian, if that was you...
Yeah, it is. It was.
Yeah.
That was Christian.
Yeah, unblock him, please. if you blocked him. That's one of the superheroes.
It's one of the son, the younger kid. So anyway, but as far as so one thing we left out, we dropped Carol off on Tuesday. Wednesday, Jason had one of his therapy appointments to go in for an initial thing, and then Thursday I was gone for the entire weekend, so it was just Jason and Ladessa. And so we got through that.
Let me interrupt you here for a second. Let me go ahead. Hey, Christian, you're in timeout right now. Look, bro. Our people are very protective. Okay. If it would have been in person, you'd have come in here saying that, I think April would have cut you. So you got to at least come in and say, hey, Mr. Jason, hey, Miss Robin, this is me, blah, blah, blah. And then you can be like, I know where you live. Because see, my people were like, oh, pow.
Yep.
So, everybody remember him when he comes back in, everybody with a wrench. He is he's probably going to end up marrying Ladessa one day.
No. But so I had a full weekend surrounded by a bunch of women going, how are you doing? How are you doing? Is everything okay? Are you all right? There he is. I'm coming over. Don't worry. I'll be there for the barbecue later. Unable to untime them out. If I change it to 10 seconds, are y'all going to have ribs?
Nope. Not for you, homie.
So so I had a lot of people like asking me, like, how are you doing? How are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, Carol and I are close, but we're not like, you know.
I got beef liver on the grill for you, Christian.
And really our relationship, at least this past year, has been more of like crisis management. So like if she was doing her paper and she couldn't find where she saved it, or, you know, she had...
That's so not true.
What do you mean?
Look, the three y'all, it was like nuclear Armageddon around here.
You and her were pretty bad, too.
No, we were just playing.
Say, whatever.
We were always playing.
Yeah.
But y'all were getting on my nerves, y'all fighting so much.
But anyway, so... The past year with her doing Move On When Ready, and then doing her application and filling out FAFSA and all that stuff, like I was her clerical person for the last 6 months or so. And so when I went on my retreat, I didn't get, hey, I miss you, I'm having fun, blah, blah, blah. I got, did my loan stuff come in yet? I want to go get my books. I'm like, I told you where the and then it really upset me because she told me during her orientation they told her where the financial aid building was. So I'm like, anyway. So she's learning how to do stuff for herself, which is very, from my perspective, has been very, very good to see. She actually we had another, this is why Jason is so much wiser than me. With all this stuff about packing everything ahead of time, packing up your room, doing all that, he knew that stuff was going to fall through the cracks. Well, literally,
did y'all hear what she just said?
Literally, 2 weeks before moving her up there, her phone just completely crapped out on her and stopped working. And so...
She said I was smarter than her.
No, I said wiser.
Same thing.
No.
Tonight it is.
No. Smart is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wise is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad. But, so...
that is the dumbest thing ever. I've never met anybody that would be like, let's put a tomato in a fruit salad.
Actually, you have.
Who?
Because we had it at the worship fest. We had tomatoes in with...
What worship fest? Oh, in June?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so...
So it doesn't count.
I had to help walk her through that, but she has been able to learn her own thing. Oh, back to the phone. Her phone just stopped working, and we knew she needed her phone because that was her lifeline to being able to find her class schedule, all of her stuff at that point. She did not have a laptop yet. And so when that happened, we were like, okay, what are we going to do about the phone? Well, fortunately, we had protection plan. We called them, and they scheduled something right away.
Yep, dude,
and
come out.
They came out to the house to fix it. Well, halfway through it, he comes up to the door and he's like, "Hey, I can't fix this. I don't have all the parts here. They basically send me with the parts to know what to fix." He's like, "I don't have them all." He's like, "So you're going to have to reschedule." Well, that was the Tuesday, the week before we were leaving. And I'm like, great. So I'm ready, geared up to call Shurion back, reschedule everything. We're in the middle of our Bible study.
I was ready. I was just ready to go to AT&T and just get her an iPhone.
Yeah. So then we're doing our Bible study, and I get an email from AT&T, and they're like, "Looks like we weren't able to repair your phone. There was more to it than what we needed or what we knew to fix, and so rather than draw it out, we're just going to send you another one." And I was like, okay. So she got her new phone, got it all set up and ready to go before she had to leave. So we had a bunch of little things here and there.
Hey, monkey.
She loves getting underneath that desk, just like Apollo did.
Stop licking my calf. Go.
But, so there were a bunch of little things here and there, but now it seems like everything's kind of ironed itself out. She's definitely got her own little routine, and
she's got her own, we met some of her friends today, and they have something at Colt Falls, Lagatha. They call them MKs, which stands for Mission Kids. Basically, these are kids that were homeschooled because they were on missions, and
their parents were on.
Parents were on mission trips, and so they have to post signs all over the place that says shoes are required, because supposedly a lot of mission kids
they get used to not wearing shoes. Because the one kid we met was from, he spent all of high school in Africa. And so they don't,
And he's one of Carol's friends. He looks like a head of broccoli.
Curly hair. Really curly hair. Like ringlets.
But he's very articulate.
Very smart kid. Yes, very articulate. Articulate is the exact word.
And...
Because he was telling us stories.
Yeah, because engaged in conversation with him.
What's the coolest thing you ever?
Yeah, what was the coolest thing? And he threw me for a loop, and he was like,
well,
what dimension of cool are
what are we talking about? Like
about?
Food, because, or are we talking about clothes?
Because for me, giraffes and zebras, they were everywhere. That's not cool to me anymore. He's, funny. And he was talking about, like the food, fresh fruit, not cool to me anymore.
He's like, they never had blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, and I really don't like bananas and apples and oranges
and mangoes.
Yeah.
But he said that one thing that's for sure was bribery was a real thing over there. And cops only pull you over. Now check this out. I wish this worked here in America. Cops only pull you over if you make eye contact.
If you make eye contact with them, then you know that they saw you.
Then that means you've seen each other, and you're going to get pulled.
You have to stop.
You have to
pull
stop.
Over. But if you don't,
if you don't make eye contact,
his dad would say, "Look to the left," and that way they wouldn't see him, so that everybody would all of a sudden have to look to the left so that they'd see the cop. I was like, "That's so funny." But yeah. So anyway. All right, well.
There's a guy in her singing group who looks like...
A lot.
I know there's a lot of Walking Dead fans in the chat tonight. Probably all 9 of you watched The Walking Dead. This dude looked like Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Top to bottom, the way he walked.
Except he's a little heavier than...
Well, Glenn was kind of heavy in season 1. He wasn't like obese or anything, but he had a full face like that kid did. But it was really, really cool. Their cafeteria, I'm gonna tell you right now, was off the chain.
Well, what was really cool was we showed up and I guess by their standards, the limited menu options, the lady was like, just charge them $5 a piece for, having a limited menu. And I was like, and sure enough, she only charged us like $14.99 for all 3 of us. Carol has her little swipe card. So we went to the cafeteria. They had like Cuban chicken with black beans and rice, and that was like their main thing that they were serving. But then they, from what I understand, always have a oh, now he's gonna ask Jason.
She has to get through college first.
So they have a station where they had meatballs for meatball subs, with the fixings. Like they had cheese and peppers and onion, like they had a bunch of stuff that you could put on it as well. Then they had a pretty involved salad bar.
I'm gonna rip your tongue.
They had some desserts, but they also had a station that was like a self-serve deli.
Yes.
And so they had pepperoni, salami, ham,
I
turkey.
made a wrap, y'all.
Yeah, it was so like big he could barely close it. Yeah.
Well, the problem is that they left the tongs there, Lagatha, and you would reach in there trying to just get 1 or 2 pieces of slice, and then they would all stick together. And
of course, Jason took that as an opportunity.
And well, no, because I was like, I tried to shake them off, and they wouldn't come, and so I was like, all right, forget it, because one of the rules of like a buffet is if you grab a hold of it and you pick it up, whatever comes up is yours.
All right. Yeah.
And so it's like double dipping. It would be gross to put it back. Put it back. So that's what happened with every chunk of lunch meat.
And then they also had
their banana peppers.
Yeah.
But their jalapenos, boy, they've been sitting a minute. Cause let me tell you what, it had my lips a little tingling. And then about an hour or so later, had another part tingling.
Are they allowed to cook or heat food in their dorm room? Nope.
They're allowed to have basically boiling water, because we bought her a case of ramen to go for her to have in the room. And then as winter rolls, as it gets closer up there, she doesn't know I'm going to do this, but we're probably going to get her some Long Johns, and I'm probably going to get her stocked up on more ramen and maybe like cups of soups
cans of soups or something.
Some chunky soups.
Yeah,
that she can
now they have, it's only 3 floors, and then they have a basement, and the basement has a full-blown kitchen. They have microwaves are not allowed in their rooms, but they have a microwave on each hall. And the halls are not super long, but there's definitely quite a few people on each floor. And
I'll be honest, depends on what happens in November is how much I'm going to stock her dorm room.
Yeah, because right now she doesn't have risers for her bed, so she has room under her bed, but not like what she would if she had risers.
Yeah.
So we may make her do that too, so that she has. Her roommate has an electric kettle, so that was what there's that, and then she has the Keurig. So between those two, they can get some hot water.
The campus also has a farm and a garden on it, a community garden.
Mm-hmm.
We learned today that
No, you did not.
Christian, meet Uncle Sydney. We learned today that they actually have married housing.
Yeah, they have housing for married couples that are going to college.
I'm assuming that they do have a graduate degree program
I'm
there.
pretty sure they do, yeah.
And the married coupled area has a community garden. They have, and of course they have the farm there. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. All my people in Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah, they do.
Just meet me in Toccoa Falls if it goes sideways, because we're just going to take over the campus.
Trauma therapy, marriage and family therapy. Yeah, they have a couple.
Yeah, and so we're going to just take over the college. It's beautiful. But yeah, overall, I mean,
she's definitely safe. She's in an environment where she can spread her wings and we don't have to worry about how far she's going to fly. The town is a cute little town, but it is by no means a, bar and club kind of town either. Mm-hmm. And so she's in a good spot where she can do some really fun stuff and it not be dangerous. Yeah. And just like, we were talking about it, we started donating blood back up again, and they're actually doing a blood drive on campus.
Well, I mean, she really doesn't have the need to go out in town except for when they want to go out. They do go to one church there to sing. Mm-hmm. They occasionally go to Walmart, and I think they went to the waffle. They just got a wild hair one night, so let's do a late night Waffle House run.
Yeah.
Their idea of a late night Waffle House run, because the curfew was 10 o'clock.
9 or 10 o'clock. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So she's gonna have a really good time. I think she's gonna learn a lot. They do have some Bible classes that are required. She's in Old Testament right now. I don't know. I'm excited. I can see a little bit of a change in her already. She's definitely more kind of the what little bit of shy Carol was there is gone, I think. I also see the goal-oriented Carol.
Yeah, she fussed at me because we were talking about writing down a date, and I said, put it in your phone. She's like, I had stuff in my phone and then my phone broke, remember? I have a planner, but my planner is back at work or back at school. And I said, well, then put it on your phone and remind you to put it in your planner when you get back to Okay.
So.
Is it too late for the ankle bracelet? Yeah. So, but she's doing really well. She's enjoying her time. She's made friends.
That would be cool, Sid, if you do get back over this way, for you to swing by, get some time to be able to swing by, and then you and I can just go up there and have lunch with her.
Yeah. That's the cool thing is that it's set up so that
hurt.
They can go, you can go have lunch with her, and it's an hour. It's a really easy trip, so. All right, well, enough about that.
That's what we've been doing.
Yep.
Don't forget, members. You have your members only chat on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You may have to catch the rewatch. I think I have whole therapy on Thursday. Right?
Yeah, and then we have to work out, but what we could do is when we get done with working out and driving back to the house, we could do it then.
Well, yes, yeah. We could probably do it.
Yeah.
Because we do have some things to share with the members that we will be sharing with you guys later on. We have a lot of interesting things happening here on the homestead. Everything from eggplant chips to we're down a cow to members will find out on Thursday. And so we're about to be down a dog. I ain't playing with that. So anything else you want to say, love? So hopefully, when we come back on Monday, maybe there'll be some stuff back here that y'all can look at, because we did paint this room. I did not choose the paint. I'm
You're
not
always
responsible.
so quick to
Not
throw me under the
responsible.
bus.
I'm not responsible for that paint color, but I do like the paint color, and so yeah.
Put some stuff behind it.
Yeah, we're gonna put some stuff behind us. Put some stuff on the wall.
Yeah.
Maybe some more dead animals or something. I don't know.
You and your dead animals.
All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with us for this long time. Now he says something. We're getting ready to leave. I know he's been back there lurking the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Jason is good looking. Robin is that supposed to be pretty? Maybe.
Robin is pay too. I don't know what. I think you have to pay for him to say that you're good looking too. I don't know. But thank you guys for hanging out with us at this time and staying true. We're going to be getting some videos here out again now that we're kind of able to get, that was my foot, kind of able to get the train kind of thing going again, trying to get our choo-choo train going. And so we're going to finish up the thing about transforming your soil when it's hard and impacted. That's going to be the very first one that's coming out. But then there's going to be more interesting topics coming out for those of you that may be at the stage that we're at or getting ready, knocking on the door of being at the stage where we're at. So anything else would you like to say, love? Okay. Well, guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you guys. Talk to you members on Thursday. And then, so till next time, God bless.
God bless y'all.
Okay, this is your favorite part of the live stream when I sit here and I just talk like this for 20 or 30 seconds because we got the whole end screen thing. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if people stick around for the end screens anymore. I don't